close your eyes for just a second. I want you to imagine your mind not as some mechanical machine that constantly needs fixing or a ledger we're desperately trying to balance, but as a wild, ancient garden, a place of rich soil, deep roots, and quiet, waiting seeds. In this explainer, we're stepping completely away from the deafening noise of the outside world to gently explore something much quieter, the biology of the soul. We're going to learn how to tend to our own inner wilderness, exactly as a devoted gardener tends to the earth. Take a really deep, grounded breath right now. When was the absolute last time you actually paused to tend to your inner world? I mean, our modern lives are just relentless, aren't they? They constantly demand that we do, produce, move, exhaust ourselves in the blinding midday sun. But true, rooted, sustainable growth, that requires the quiet stillness of just being. Today, we're shifting our gaze inward, tracing the hidden, delicate roots of how we actually experience our lives, our emotions, and our deepest connections. Section 1, Ripples in a Quiet Pond. We're kicking off our journey by looking at compassion, but we kind of need to look at it differently, not as a fleeting action, and definitely not as some heavy social obligation. Imagine compassion as a deeply ingrained muscle. It's a gentle, steady heartbeat that begins right in the fertile soil of your own being, long before it ever reaches the sunlight of the outside world. See, true compassion isn't this commodity you just give away until you're completely hollowed out. It's so much more like a stone dropped into a perfectly still pond. It naturally expands in these beautiful concentric circles. It's the self, the loved one, and then the world. This practice absolutely must soften our relationship with ourselves first, because you literally can't pour from an empty cup. From that nourished center, it flows to the people we hold dear, and then, naturally, it ripples out to bathe the entire world. And the science on this is absolutely beautiful. Just closing your eyes and holding the face of someone you love in your mind literally changes the physical rhythm of your heart. It alters your internal biological resonance. So empathy isn't just some passing nice thought. It's a deeply rooted biological healing energy that surges right through your veins, softening your physical edges and kind of knitting you back together. So we carry this inner warmth out into what can be a pretty cold, chaotic world. Everyone is walking around carrying invisible, heavy burdens. When we bump into the messy struggles of humanity, like maybe an exhausted waitress who forgets your order after a 12-hour shift on aching feet, this inner grace gives us permission to just pause. We observe their heavy burdens, we completely suspend those rigid judgments, and we respond with unmerited grace. The world literally becomes a more connected, alive place just because of the gentle way you choose to look at it. This active, daily cultivation brings us to a concept I absolutely love: blisscipline. And hey, this isn't about forcing some toxic, brittle kind of fake happiness. It's not pretending winter hasn't arrived. Instead, it's the quiet, deliberate discipline of nurturing positive emotional soil entirely independent of whatever external storms are raging outside your window. It's the delicate art of trusting your roots even when your branches are completely bare. Which leads us to Section 2, Shadows and Inner Weather. Because let's be honest, a thriving, wild inner garden needs way more than just endless sunlight. To really flourish and grow deep, we absolutely have to welcome our shadows. We have to invite our deepest wounds and the falling rain in with an immense, radical benevolence. We can't just banish the dark. We have to learn to pull up a chair, sit beside it, and just listen to what it has to say. Think about this. Melancholy is not a failure of character. It's not a glitch we need to immediately fix. It's entirely natural. Sometimes the absolute most healing thing you can do is just sit by the fire and listen to the rain hit the glass. These feelings are just beautiful, necessary weather patterns moving through the atmosphere of our consciousness. They're just asking to be witnessed. They're the vital rain that seeps down to nourish the deepest roots of the soul. And when that storm hits its absolute peak, we can anchor ourselves to this profoundly beautiful truth. What is grief but love persisting? Even our most aching grief is just an extension of love. It's love that lost its physical resting place and is now just wandering the halls of your heart. When we honor our sadness, we're really just honoring our profound capacity to love another soul. Don't push it away. Let it water the earth. But how do we keep that sadness from rotting down into guilt and shame? We follow this ancient, natural rhythm of forgiveness. Think of it like a timeline. At nightfall, as the light fades, we softly acknowledge the shadow, the mistakes we've made. By the dark of midnight, we intentionally open our hands and drop the heavy anchors of guilt. And by dawn, We forgive, and we begin anew. We let ourselves wash clean and be entirely reborn with the morning sun. The physical impact of letting go like this is basically pure magic inside the body. Letting go of our past missteps literally rewires the pathways of the mind. When we offer true forgiveness, the left and right hemispheres of the brain actually begin to synchronize. It physically creates this deeply coherent, highly attuned harmony, giving you the exact same quiet, steady peace of a lifelong monk who spent decades in deep, silent meditation. It's incredible. By actively choosing to forgive our own past missteps, release the crushing weight of self-loathing, and forgive the human flaws in others, we bypass such a dangerous trap. Self-loathing is basically a thorny weed that just violently chokes out your vitality and drains your soil. But by pulling those weeds out by their very roots, with profound inner compassion, you clear the earth. You make vast, open room for genuine emotional and spiritual growth. All right, Section 3, Architect of the Future. Now that we've cleared our inner shadows and watered our soil, we can finally turn our faces back toward the sun. The storm is past, and we're ready to focus our energy on a vibrant vision of who we are becoming. We're ready to craft a destiny that truly resonates with the song of our soul. What actually manifests in our lives is this delicate, magical alchemy of 3 distinct forces. First, there's intention, the bright fire of your personal desire. Second, destiny, the deep, ancient river of your soul's natural path. And third, the world's energy, the invisible wind of collective consciousness swirling all around us. It's this mysterious blending of the fire, the river, and the wind that creates our living reality. To navigate this flowing river, we really have to look at how we desire things. There's immature wanting, which is driven by ego, societal pressure, and rigid expectations. And we hold that gently because it's just protective armor we were taught to build. But then there's mature wanting. This is driven by your soul's true essence, and it stays entirely open to the universe's infinite forms. It trusts that what we deeply crave might show up in beautifully unexpected, unrecognizable ways. So the simple, daily key to actually living your vision is opening your palms. You focus deeply on the what you seek and the deep why it matters to your spirit. But you have to gracefully release the how and the when. You plant the seed, you gently water the earth, but you don't stand over the soil yelling at it to grow, right? Gripping too tightly onto the timing of your life only suffocates the delicate sprout. So instead of defining yourself by some rigid, hollow, external milestone, become a true architect of your inner days. Define the exact emotions you wish to harbor, clarify the true quality of life you seek, and nurture your character's evolution. Ask yourself, do you want your days to feel expansive, rooted, free? Build your life around those feelings, and the perfect external reality will organically grow right out of that internal clarity. Because ultimately, we aren't machines built for endless grinding output. We're living, breathing ecosystems. We absolutely require seasons of rest and rain and light. So as we wrap up this explainer and you walk back out into the open world today, I leave you with this question. As you tend to your inner garden today, what beautiful seeds will you gently press into the earth for tomorrow? Take a slow, deep breath, trust the soil, and just watch what beautifully blooms.